This episode is brought to you by Allstate. Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like, to check you have the tickets in your wallet first before you drive 2 hours to the big game. Seriously, you had one job. Now the closest you'll get to the 50-yard line is parking lot D. Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate. Savings vary. Terms apply. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Northbrook, Illinois.
Hey, it's Austin James. If you're like me, trying to live your best life while living with diabetes, you can relate to worrying if you're doing a good job managing your diabetes. I use the Freestyle Libre 3 Plus sensor to get real-time glucose readings and see the impact of every meal and activity to make better decisions. The Freestyle Libre 3 Plus sensor can help me live life with diabetes on my own terms, and it gives me more time for the things I love, like being a dad and a musician. Now this is progress. Learn more at freestylelibre.us.
For prescription only. Safety info found at freestylelibre.us.
Meaningless stuff. Why do we gift so much meaningless stuff? Tired of generic gifts and hollow trends? Shutterfly allows you to create meaningful photo gifts for your family and friends. Whether it's a cozy fleece blanket for grandma, a stunning canvas print for mom, or a mug to make dad smile. Enjoy 40% off with code MAKE40 at Shutterfly.com and make something meaningful this year. See site for more details.
Whether you're ordering wings for the game, whipping up a 7-layer dip, or ordering pizza, there's something about football that makes you want to eat. And this football season, Uber Eats has the best deals on game day food. No matter what you're craving, from 2-for-1 pizza to buy one, get one wings, Uber Eats will be dropping new deals each week, all season long. Uber Eats, official on-demand delivery partner of the NFL. Order now. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details.
It's time to get back to work.
Absolutely.
So it's that game. It's the biggest game of the season so far for the Bears. Like we thought the Houston Texas was a big game. Nah, I mean Houston Texas is a good team, right? But we were still in our infancy. We were still trying to figure out what kind of team this team is, right? They getting to know themselves, getting to know that, learning how to win, all that aspects. We're on a 3-game winning streak. We're playing another team that's up and coming, led by the number 2 pick in this last draft. So this is where the money is made. If we are who we think we are, this is the week to prove it.
Yeah, definitely. The Commanders, another upstart team. The game has been flexed, so it's obviously a big game that all of America's watching. You got the number 1 pick versus number 2 pick. And of course, they're both quarterbacks. And of course, everybody has their opinion on this. We already know Caleb generates a lot of controversial opinion for some reason. And the thing is, the guy is anything but controversial, but he generates it. So you have people picking and choosing sides. So this would be a great test. Hopefully, Jaden can play. Let us tenderize the ribs a little bit more.
That's the big news coming into this game. Yeah, is it
going to be? You want to. Run if you want to, my boy.
I need TJ to tag him one good time if he plays. So but anybody.
Is TJ on the injury report too?
I didn't see that.
Oh, you said if Jaden plays. Okay.
Yeah,
you scared me because every time every time I look up, there's another bear on the injury report. I thought for sure we were getting Brisker and Gordon back. So far, it ain't looking good for both of them.
Right, you ain't lying. So, if for those who haven't heard, Jaden Daniels hurt his ribs last week. He couldn't finish the game against the Carolina Panthers. Didn't stop the show none. They still beat the Panthers 40-7. Panthers suck. I'm gonna love that 2nd-round pick.
Almost like a first.
Yeah, we need that. It's owed to us basically at this point. Don't fuck it up, Ryan Poles.
Please don't. We getting close to the trade deadline. Ryan, no crazy ideas, bro. Don't bring Cooper Kupp in here.
Boy, that'll piss me off.
And then Cooper Cup is a nice player. He's not a player we need. Okay, don't let me wake up and see the Bears traded a second round pick for Cooper Cup, or the Bears trade a second round pick for Minka Fitzpatrick. Please
Yeah,
don't do that, Brian.
we got to storm Hallis Hall again if he's fucking around doing something like that. So, Jaden Daniels is still on the injury report. They would categorize him as week to week. They haven't ruled him out. So we don't know if this is going to be a battle between the number 1 pick and the number 2 pick of the 2024 draft, or a battle between the number 1 pick in the 2024 draft and the number 2 pick in the 2013 draft.
15, or
15.
16, 15 or 16. Remember, another former Bears GM was trying to trade up for Mariota. He loved to acquire busts. I don't know if you remember that. But yeah, Ryan Post is trying to acquire Marcus Mariota. He fell in love with him, deep love with him, lusty love with him.
Wait, Ryan Pace was the GM when Post or
Yes.
Mike Mariota was the. Wow.
Yes, he was there.
Wow.
That was right after Emery was banished. But yeah, Pace wanted to acquire Marcus Mariota, and apparently he wanted him bad, and it didn't have enough trade capital to get him. Thank God.
Ryan Pace shouldn't be in the league no more, but that's topic for another day. All right, let's get to work about this game. So the Bears 4-2, going to see DC to see the DC Commanders, who are 5-2. The DC Commanders have the surprise number 3 defense and number 1 offense. So I don't want to dismiss them in any respect, regardless of who the quarterback is, because their defense, their team, as of right now, has shown to be formidable.
Dan Quinn has those guys playing really good football. One thing about Dan Quinn is his defense is going to be better than the sum of his parts. What I mean by that is he doesn't need a bunch of stars, because they're going to play very disciplined football on that side of the ball. So the secondary is vulnerable. You can attack them, but they're going to be disciplined though. So and they got two good linebackers over there, Wagner and Louvu. So and very good interior defensive linemen. So there's not a lot of big names on the commander side of the ball, not a lot of high talented guys, but they play very disciplined though, like a Dan Quinn football team.
Definitely agree with that. So we got to be on our P's and Q's on both sides of the ball. But let's start with the offense. It's Caleb Williams. The last 3 weeks, he's obviously looked a lot better. He's got 7 touchdowns, 1 interception, 100 QBR in all 3 games. And he's been averaging, 7 yards a carry. And I think that's very key against this Commander rush defense, because they are 30th in the league in yards per carry. They're giving up over 5 per carry.
And I think teams haven't been able to expose that because they built up leads in a lot of these games. You know, the Panthers game, what other game was that they built in the Browns game? So teams weren't able to expose that. So I think it's very important that Caleb uses legs, the Bears, Waldron, use the run game. DeAndre Swift get off to a hot start. Keep the momentum for the last 3 weeks that you've had.
I think that's the key to this offense for this week. I think DeAndre Swift, he's had 70+ yards on the ground in each of the last 3 games, a touchdown in each. I got him on my slip. If you're going to attack this defense, that's ranked number 3. If you're going to attack them, it's through the ground. And Swift, Roschon Johnson, that 2-headed monster, maybe even Khalil Herbert, they got to get into action.
Agreed. Bears run game has really set the tone the last couple of weeks on the ground, and a run game is a young quarterback's best friend. As good of a friend to a young quarterback as is a tight end or Keenan Allen. You said before the season that Cole Kmet was going to be your surprise possible Pro Bowler, because those guys are very important. the quarterback. And thankfully, Shane Waldron is woke up out of his Gerald Everett lust-induced slumber. We've seen Cole Kmet getting the majority of the tight end snaps as he should. And Cole Kmet has responded as he has for the last 2 years. I don't know what Waldron had going the first couple weeks, but I'm glad that Everett is back to a sub package and a backup role. Thank God.
Thank God, because Cole Kmet is finally, he's emerged, right? He's become a favorite target of Caleb's over the last 3 weeks. He's averaging close. I think he's leading the league in reception yards per game. I'm not leading the league, but leading the team rather in reception yards per game. I think he's close to 50. It's in between him and DJ Moore, but I think I might be mistaken. I think he's leading the team.
It was probably he said a couple of the games. Cole Kmet is clearly emerging one of the best tight ends in the league right now. I mean, he's got to be in your top 10 tight ends. So can't think of too many guys I'd say right now are clearly right now better than Kmet. I mean, the Bowers kid from Las Vegas is obviously playing amazing. He's an amazing athlete, but all around Kmet was one of the best tight ends in the league. A guy who can block. You use the inline blocker and as a receiver.
For what can we expect from the offense against their defense?
I think last year you saw us attack that secondary. The Commanders, they don't have the most talented secondary, and they're still vulnerable. They have played, even though their defense played well, it actually played very well against the Panthers last week. They've been fortunate to play with the advantage of some leads. They've been fortunate to play with positive game script. I think the Bears get off to a nice start. You can gash that secondary for big plays. They're still vulnerable through there. DJ Moore last year at 200 yards receiving. He brings this year with Keenan Allen, Roma Dunze, and Cole Kmet. I think we can attack that secondary. I think we can get some big plays, and I think we can get some points on the board there. And balance it out with the run game. I would love to see the Bears control the clock, control time possession, and the pace and tempo. Get the Commanders in a situation they really haven't been in this year, where they can't really play off that play action fake and those bootlegs, where they have to become a pass-heavy team and sit in the pocket, whether it's Daniels or Mariota. Obviously, Jaden has played remarkable this year, but I'd like to see him where he has to throw, where he has to catch up. I know the Ravens game, he did a little bit of that, but I want to see him against his Bears secondary. Have to put it in the air, see if we can get him on the ground or get a couple picks out of him, and especially Mariota.
I think Caleb. I think he comes back to earth a little bit this week. I kind of believe, because I don't know if Deron Payne and I know Jonathan Allen's out for the year. I don't see Deron Payne on their injury report, but I know he was nicked up earlier last couple of weeks. But if he's there, he's a game wrecker. We got to pay attention to him and what they got going on. And like you said, their secondary, they're young, but they've been playing very well. I think this is the week that we don't see 100-point QBR out of Caleb.
You think this is the week we see 150 and a 400-yard game? That's coming back to earth.
And he hasn't hit a 400-yard yet. It's about that time.
Yet.
Oof. Hey, put him in the MVP talks if he does that.
Put him in there. Move over Lamar. Move over Derrick Henry.
My projection for what Caleb can do against this defense, I'm going to give him 225 through the air, 225, one touchdown. I think this will be a heavy run game. I'm expecting to see Roshan. This will be the Roshan game. Roshan's going to be
waiting on that.
Yeah, this is going to be the game Roshan, breaks out. He starts to let people know around the league, like, hey, I'm here. I'm expecting to see big things out of him in tandem with DeAndre Swift. I want to see, because the Bears, their rushing attack is, I think they're only averaging 100, maybe a little over 100 yards per game, which is
They
bottom
started
half.
off so bad. The first couple games really weighs them down. We're in
Mhm.
game. We played 6 games, and the first 2 games were just awful.
Right. I think on the season, I think they're close to, they're in the bottom third of the league as far as like yards per game on the ground. This is the game we're going to get over 100, 140 on the ground. I got that. So I'm going to I'm going to pull back on Caleb. This will be, we've been hyping these two quarterbacks up. They probably don't even, have fireworks. It will be the running game. It's going to lead the show. So I got Caleb doing 225, 1 touchdown. Not spectacular. Hopefully, he continues to be safe with the ball. But the run game is what's going to happen. Roshan, DeAndre Swift combined for 140.
I'm going to go and disagree a little bit. I think Caleb is returning to the Washington area. The game is in prime time. I think he's going to be hyped, but he's going to be a controlled hype. And I think after 2 weeks of game prep, Shane Waldron is going to put together a terrific game plan to attack this Commander's secondary. I got Caleb with 285 yards, 3 tutties, no picks, completion percentage at 7%, and a little bit of trash talking to the Washington sideline and Washington crowd. I don't know if you saw a recent podcast. Cole Kmet said Caleb Williams is one of the biggest trash talkers on the team. So he's going to talk and let them guys know that, hey, all this Jaden love and shade towards me, I was the number one pick for a reason. He's going to let the world know that he was number one pick, heads and shoulders, for a reason. I'm going with a big game from Caleb.
I saw the press conference where DJ Moore was saying Caleb Williams is bossy. I saw that one.
Bossy, sassy.
Yeah, you got a lot of sass energy out there, right? As long as it's not zesty. Yeah. I found that funny.
That's fine. Channel your light skin energy, Caleb. You know, channel that light skin energy.
Do what you got to do, bro. As long as you bring us the dub, I don't care. All right, let's flip sides. No, our defense versus their offense. Now, on the season, and this is it depends on who's the signal caller, right? Because Marcus Mariota, we got plenty of tape on him. Jaden Daniels is the one that's a little bit more explosive, a little more. You got to do a little bit more work to catch up with him.
Probably got to use a spy.
Yeah, I mean, even though we know what he's doing, there's a lot of RPO, a lot of bootlegs, a lot of high lows, nothing groundbreaking. But because he's a superior athlete, right?
That's the problem.
But
the athleticism can just break a defense. I mean, when a guy rolls out of the pocket and he looks downfield and the defense and secondary has done their job and he's still able to gash you for 11, 12 yards, that is demoralizing. That is a first down right there. If he got the ball at the 30, he's already at the 40-yard line at midfield. They've already flipped the field position. They've won that battle already. And they're moving in the field goal position. So that's the problem with Jaden Daniels. When he gets out on that perimeter and coasts to a 10, 11-yard run, he makes it look so smooth and easy. Like he picks up those 10 yards real quick. That's absolutely a backbreaker.
Yeah, and it's the way he's doing it is because they doing a lot of stuff at the line of scrimmage. They're getting Austin
a lot of pre-motion.
Right.
Yeah. A lot of jet sweeps.
A lot of jet sweeps there to Brian Robinson. Austin Eckler getting a lot of screens. And that sucks the defense in. Yeah. And then with the QB runs, that sucks the defense in. Next thing you know, Scary Taylor
over the top. And they lull you in with all the pre-snap motion, and your defense gets to ignore them, and then boom, they hit you with some like you said, they hit you over the deep they hit you over the top with a big play. That has been Washington's game plan the entire year. You think you got them, then a big run or a big pass by Terry, and they're blowing the game open.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And also, Brian Robinson's running in between the tackles. He's running good in between the tackles. That's another thing. When you can run the ball effectively like Commanders can, that's the one worry I have for the Bears. They have to be disciplined in their run fits. They got to maintain gap integrity. They got to be disciplined on assignments. So Brian Robinson gets to chunking you for 7-8 yards. Now your safeties got their eyes in the backfield. Terry get behind you. Those are things you got to worry about. So the Bears got to stay disciplined. They might have a couple subs in there in the secondary. So guys have to be very sound on their defensive assignments.
And it's very important this week because going back to the Bears injury report, Jaquan Brisker and Kyler Gordon haven't practiced at all this week. And so that's not trending in the right direction.
Most likely not going to play.
Yeah.
Did Tyreek practice?
He's been limited both days.
Okay.
So he's trending in the right direction.
Him as well.
Yeah.
Higher than 50-50 for Tyreek playing.
Right. If I was to call it today, I mean, he's probably going to play Tyreek because his injury wasn't as. I don't even know how Kyler got hurt, to be honest with you. I'm still baffled on that. But
Tyreek or Kyler?
Kyler.
Okay. They said he pulled his hamstring in that what was in the Jaguars game?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see it happen. I just saw all the subs were in. I just assumed that Kyler had got subbed out. No, not the Jaguars game. It was a week before. It was the same game, right? He didn't play the Jaguars game. It was it the Panthers game that he got hurt? Yeah, same game Brisker got hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't see it. I just assumed that the subs were in because we were blowing them out.
It was yeah. So those are some things we got to pay attention to, especially if we're going to have reserves in there. Now, they played great against the Jaguars, but this is another unique challenge. Jaguars don't offer the type of complex, looks that the Washington would give you. Again, what they're running isn't complex, but you got to be paying attention. The green dot. Tremaine, he's got to be calling things out. He's got to get everybody on one accord.
Don't get caught with your pants down. Don't get that belt.
Right. Now we talked about their rushing defense. Ours ain't too much better. We're about mid pack as far as in the league against the run. Not good though. We've given up over 100, I think, every week.
A lot of yards per carry. A lot of big runs.
They're giving up 5 per carry. We're getting over 4. And their running game, they've got a 3-headed monster between Brian Robinson, Austin Eckler, who's not really running the ball. He's really just a receiver at the backfield.
Yeah, kind of like he was with the Chargers.
Pretty much. But I'm glad you brought that up. Also, Eckler was very dangerous in the red zone in his prime, right?
Very. Yeah.
The Bears are number 3 in the league as far as red zone defense. So even if we give us some big plays in the middle of the field, I'm pretty confident we can keep them out of the end zone, no matter who's playing.
Yeah, the Bears red zone defense has been very good. Elijah Hicks stepped up really well for Brisker last week. It's really tough to ask several backups to continue that high level of play because Gordon and Brisker were playing at a Pro Bowl level. I mean, Brisker's playing as well as any safety in the league right now. Gordon is playing as well as any nickel in the league. And they offer you a lot of versatility, not just in pass defense. Both of them are excellent in supporting the run, which is a big concern with them both being out. And they also are 2 of the best blitzers from the secondary in the NFL. So that is especially a concern. And Gordon is so athletic. You would love to have Gordon there, especially if Jaden Daniels plays, because you want to match that athleticism. So, the red zone defense has been very, very good. Hopefully those subs can continue. Elijah Hicks, Blackwell, Jalen Jones, whichever one of them are going to be taking that nickel spot this week.
hoping to continue the good work that they did over there in London. The Bears, they're averaging three sacks per game, so we can get to them.
Yeah, Dexter's been playing well. This is a homecoming for Montez Sweat too, and we know that negotiations with the Commanders stalled, and that's why he ended up here. Ended up dealt. Um, you know that guy's going to be amped for this game. You know he wants to spin the block, and he wants to show the Commanders what they're missing. They extended Payne, they extended Jonathan Allen, so he's going to come in there. He's going to come in the game with a chip in his shoulder. I look for a very good game from Montez Sweat as well.
Yeah, Montez Sweat. I don't have to worry about him. I know he's going to show out. As you said, this is a revenge game for him of sorts because that team they shipped you off. They said, "No, you're not the one that we want to keep around. We're not going to pay you. This will get something for you, right?" So you got to take that. You got to put a chip on the shoulder, and not just a chip. Put a boulder on your shoulder and drop it on their quarterback when you get back there.
On his ribs.
Somebody else I don't have to worry about. Jalen Johnson. On the season, when a quarterback throws his way, it's 20.3 QBR. He ain't giving up nothing. So let's spin the block back on that defensive back conversation we was talking about. Let's say mistakes happen, people get lulled to sleep, and they let Terry get over the top. They ain't throwing it if they mess around and match him up with Jalen. Nah, that's a sack.
Yeah,
because that's a sack. It's an incomplete pass. It might even be a turnover. Mess around.
Well, we saw Jalen matched up with Terry last year, and Terry didn't do much of anything. Jalen is stingy.
Nope.
Jalen is stingy as a girl that's going out on a date just for the food. So Jalen's coming to eat. That's all. He's coming to eat, and he's not giving up anything.
Jalen don't give up nothing, man. You're right. The Bears defense, as we said, they're number 3 in the red zone. That's if they get down in the red zone. Number 4 league wide scoring defense. Number 8 on third down. So the key is basically don't let them convert on the first 2 downs. Force them to be to nibble. Get minimum yards first 2 downs, because on third they're gonna have to kick that ball back to us. But we're gonna mess around and figure their defense out at some point and put this game away. We number 1 in opposing QBR. So Jaden Daniels, he gonna have his worst game of the season if he play. And I ain't saying it just because he hurt, but because this defense is gonna put a hurting on him. Marcus Mariota, we've seen the best out of him. That was last week playing a bum ass Panthers.
Unmotivated bum Panthers.
Right. The real, his initials are Eminem, right? So we're the real Slim Shady. Please stand up. If we got to play against him, we getting the bum marks that we've seen for the last 10 years. No disrespect, no pejorative, but I'm gonna use that word anyway. Bum.
Also, he's being protected out there by Cornelius Lucas. Here is a tip to the Commanders or any team in the NFL. If you sign an offensive lineman and he's an ex-Bear, he's probably not very good. They tried Charles Leno at left tackle last couple seasons. Now they're replacing Cornelius Lucas, who played for the Bears very briefly, but still was a Bear. If he couldn't cut it for the Bears for our 2019 team as a left tackle, he probably can be exposed. DeMarcus Walker, Booker, guys, go on that right side and eat. Go on that right side and eat.
I can't believe it. They're getting away with that. But then again, we talked about this. I don't want to use the word. I don't want to use the word gimmicky because I think that's. I think that's a little. I think that's a little disrespectful, right? I mean, they're actually they're beating NFL defenses. They're whooping them. So I don't want to say they're getting away with they're not running a wildcat. They're not doing something like that.
No, not that gimmicky. No.
Right.
There's a lot of college concepts, but they are merged with pro concept though.
Mm-hmm. So, but all that comes to an end today because you gotta do it against a real squad. Well, a
You
real
got a
defense.
real defense. Yeah.
I do want
They
to see that.
they acquitted themselves well against the Ravens, but the Ravens. I don't want to say the Ravens Commanders. It wasn't a one-sided game, but if you watch that game, thankfully it was available for us locally in Chicago. The Ravens controlled that game. I mean, the Commanders stayed there, but the Ravens controlled that game. Their defense kind of went to a soft coverage. I'm not saying the Ravens took their foot off the gas, but the Ravens controlled that game though. And to me, that's the most functional team the Commanders have played this year. I know the Bengals, in theory, are a good team and a contender, but the Ravens haven't been. I mean, sorry, not the Ravens. The Bengals. I have questions about how well they've been coached. They clearly haven't been disciplined. They haven't been a cohesive team. They're not the Bengals we saw from 2020 to early part of 2022. So I think this would be a great test, not only for us but for the Commanders. Though this will probably be the most complete team they've seen aside from the Ravens.
Oh, I forgot they played the Ravens. I was saying this is going to be this is where they figure out what it's really about. The Ravens gave them belt before, so it's going to be a reunion on that reunion to the belt.
Back to the belt.
The DC Commanders, and we're being jovial about this game because we think we honestly believe the Bears have a great shot at winning this game, right? But the DC Commanders, all respect given, they are leading their division. They are the division leader. If the playoffs started today, they'll be the number 2 seed in the NFC. And you know who they'll play? They'll play the Bears first round.
Yeah, we're the number 7 seed.
Mm-hmm. That's only because the Packers played one more game. We're better than the Packers.
We are,
right.
And they have one division loss. We don't have any division games, so that's why they're ahead. If we're both at 5-2, we got the advantage because they have division loss, and they'll have more division losses when they see us. I can't wait for Bear Packers week.
Oh man, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun.
A time will be had.
Yeah, a time will be had, and tears will be drank. Green and yellow tears.
Jay Cutler's not here to save you guys this year. He's not here. He's not here to throw 3 completions to Charles Woodson or whatever Packer quarterback is there. Shout out to Jay Cutler. Made the news this week.
Yeah, Jay Cutler's not there to save you, right? Jay Cutler, he's right there in the corner. You see him? He's right there.
He's right there in the corner.
He's in a timeout right now.
What he should have been placed in so many times as the Bear when he was doing whatever he wanted to do. He doesn't realize this isn't Lovie Smith. This isn't Mike Marks or Mike Tice. When you go outside of Hallis Hall, you will be held accountable, Jay Cutler. You can't ride around.
all that BS, man. It's a shame it took this long for somebody to get fed up with his bullshit. It's a damn shame. I've been fed up with it. I was fed up with it 10 years ago. Hey, I'm glad it didn't hurt anybody, but lock him up and keep him there. And while you're at it, go get Brett Favre. All them Packer
go get Brett first.
Yeah, you're a little late on that. Go get Brett first. Go get Brett first. Spend the block.
I'm waiting for the feds to raid Aaron Rodgers' house and find all the pounds of fentanyl and mushrooms.
robotic pigeons.
Robotic pigeons. Randall Cobb tied up somewhere, bound and gagged and scantily clad, because that relationship is just a little bit strange. I don't know why Aaron has to go and get all of his ex-skill position players and have them play bad for New York. I don't know why the Jets haven't learned their lesson from Brett Favre. Stop getting Packers washed up quarterbacks.
It's hilarious that it's funny as hell watching ex-Packers play bad for the Jets, and then Aaron get up there and blame other people. Alan Lazard can do no wrong.
Absolutely no accountability. You underthrow a pass for Mike Williams to get him hurt, and you look at him like he's the bad guy. I was listening to
Oh,
ESPN Radio, the national syndicated version, and they were having a field day on Aaron Rodgers' quotes and lack of accountability and blaming everything and everybody from refs to coaches to to his offensive supporting cast for his struggles, and it continues. Aaron is quickly wearing out his welcome in New York, as he should.
yeah. Uh, Dude, we called this when they traded for him. We said, bro, he's gonna be a diva the whole time, and y'all gonna have more expectations than wins. And two seasons in, what are we at? Where are we at?
He's up there in the league leaders of interceptions and excuses. I don't know which he's definitely the league leader in excuses and lack of accountability.
Uh, all right. Last thing, trade deadline is about 11 days away. The
Yep.
Bears are rumored to be in the market for a couple of people. We can use some help. I prefer if they're gonna do anything, go get some offensive line help. But you never see an offensive lineman traded in season, right? That's hardly that's few and far in
No,
between.
teams hold on to especially good left tackles. I would love a good left tackle to come available. Teams hold on to those guys. I've wanted Quentin Nelson for years. The Colts are 4-3. Somehow 4-3. It does not compute. Looking at the Colts that they're 4-3, but they are 4-3. They are not in stellar mode. So the Quentin Nelson, he just seems like a guy that would make a great Bear. Played at Notre Dame, Midwest guy, tough guy. But yeah, it does not look like any of the good offensive linemen are in trade talks. But there's a couple really good edge rushers that are rumored to be possibly on the move. Actually, well, one is taken off the mount market. Hassan Reddick finally signed, but two elite ones. And make no mistake about it, they're elite, rumored to be on the move. What are your thoughts on the Bears pursuing those guys?
I want to keep my draft picks, please. Um, you can find an elite pass rusher in the draft. Maybe not this draft. I haven't done my homework on what's available this draft, right? And
Not this
we
draft, and not. I do like the kid from Georgia. I love him. I think he's going to be a stud. We have no shot at getting him, and I mean that sincerely. I mean, almost even if we lost out, there are teams that are going to be worse. I think he's a top five pick. We already have 4 wins. We have to
Mhm.
lose out to have any chance at him. He's a guy that's going to be a top five player, and I anticipate the Bears picking in the 20s.
Yeah. Even though we have Carolina's top number two second round pick.
I don't think that will be enough to package to get into the top five.
Well, I mean, Pose is a very aggressive guy. Um, I would prefer if you're going to be aggressive, do it on draft day. But if you have to, if you feel this team is in a we can win something this year mode, right? Then by all means go ahead and do it. But please, you better do it.
You better be right.
We better win.
You better be right. I feel I'm conflicted because I look around the NFC, and the best team in the NFC that I see right now on paper, combined with current play, is the Lions. Now, our history, recent history with the Lions is we match up very well with them. We give them tons of fits.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be measured when I say this because uh, we still have a rookie quarterback. We're not rebuilding right now, but we're still in the process of building. I do think there is a path for the Bears to be a dark horse in the NFC. Um, I do think that Caleb Williams continues to progress through the season. I think the defense is better than I anticipated. I think this is an elite defense. If they can stay healthy, they can hold anybody in that NFC playoffs under 20. And I do think if the offense is clicking, Caleb, we can score 20 on anybody. And the Lions are down 8 in Hutchinson, which is the cornerstone of that defense. Make no mistake, he is
Mm-hmm.
by far the best defensive player, and I think a lot of the defense rallies around what he does. So I'm conflicted on trading future capital, but I look at it this way: Is there anybody in next year's draft in the 20s, which I anticipate the Bears picking in, as good as Max Crosby or Garrett or Miles Garrett? Absolutely not. Um, I know a lot of Bears fans have proposed that a second round pick is not going to get you Max Crosby or Miles Garrett.
No.
It's not. They're going to ask for a first round pick, and they should. And honestly,
let me push back on that. You might be able to give them. You may not have to give them a first, but you have to give them more than a second. It's going to be multiple.
absolutely,
Right?
you're going to have to give up both seconds and possibly a mid round pick either in the 25 or 26 draft. But I anticipate the Browns and the Raiders, when they come to the negotiating table, they're going to ask for a first round pick. And why I think it will take a first round pick is I do think the Lions will also be aggressive. 'Cause I think the Lions know their Super Bowl window has opened. In Detroit, let's face it, they don't have a great history in terms of football in the last 30 years, especially in terms of playoff football. I think the Lions are definitely they have none. So the Lions are going to be all in. So I do anticipate that a bidding war would take the Bears to offer a first round pick and another pick to get Crosby or Miles. They are both absolutely worth it. The Bears have a lot of cap space next year. However, I'm conflicted because I think the offensive line has played well recently, but I think that it is very important that you make sure Caleb takes as few hits as possible. You don't want anything compromising your franchise quarterback. You invested the number one pick in this guy. You want to keep him upright. So, well, I do anticipate the Bears being a dark horse, and a guy like Miles Garrett and a guy like Max Crosby are absolute game changers. Absolutely, these are guys that are capable of taking over a game. And in the playoffs, a strip sack, couple sacks, these can flip the game immediately and immensely. So, um, but I do value the draft capital, but these are kind of once in a lifetime guys. I wouldn't be mad if Poles made a move. That's where I stand. If Poles makes a move, I wouldn't be mad. If he did not make a move, I would not be mad. But I wouldn't be mad if I woke up. In fact, I'd be excited if I woke up and saw Crosby or Miles Garrett were Bears.
It would shock me. It would be so shocking to me that the Cleveland Browns traded Miles Garrett. It would probably push the presidential election off of it probably move that to second page news, right? Because that's big enough news. Miles Garrett, the reigning defensive player of the year, traded. That's
27, right? He's 27. He's in the midst of his prime.
Right. In the midst of your prime, you don't give up a pass rusher as elite as that.
No, you don't.
So if they,
unless he acts to be traded,
right?
And
when teams hate when their players ask to be traded. They try to bend the other team right over. And please, Ryan Poles, if you're listening, do not make the Bears into one of them Tyler Perry movie characters. We do not want to do the bending. We don't want to do the bending. We don't want to be bent over. Please make smart decisions with these. If you're going to get
and we don't judge anybody's lifestyle. If you like to be bent over, man or woman, that is your personal decision. But we just don't want our team to be bent over. No. We're not going to enjoy it.
Right.
No Diddy. No. Don't let them put the oil on you, Ryan. Don't let them put that oil on you.
I see you representing your pink for Breast Cancer Awareness Month, man. I got pink lettering in on my hat too. For anybody that has a loved one or that's dealt with breast cancer, or if you have dealt with breast cancer yourself, our thoughts are with you. Cancer sucks. Almost as
worse than the Packers or the Packers. We make a lot of jokes on the show. We love to have a good time, but seriously, go to the doctor, get yourself checked out. Check for the lumps. Have somebody else check for the lumps.
I got 2 free hands if you need it.
Yeah, exactly. Ladies, take care of yourself, please.
Please do.
We need you all here. We don't need anybody going earlier than they need to.
Mm-hmm. We need you all here because we need more Bears fans. And definitely. And we need more people liking and subscribing and listening to the pod, sharing the pod. So let's get this population growth. Let's birth some more Bear fans. Take care of yourself, as Q said.
Yeah, you can't subscribe to the show if you're not here alive. Stay alive.
Mm-hmm.
Check your titties.
No,
listen, even if you're a Packers fan, you're save your titties and save your life.
Right.
Don't jump off a bridge. Stay around so we can laugh at you. We want you Packers fans alive because we want to laugh at you.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna laugh at you twice this year, and every other year, every year going forward.
This era of Bears football is going to be nasty work for you guys in Green Bay.
Cry.
Bear down.
Bear down.
Thanks for listening to this latest edition from the Frustrated Chicago Sports Fan channel. Whether you listen to this on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or watching on YouTube, make sure you like, subscribe, share with a friend, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a drop. And all my homies from Chicago, we say three things: bear down, go Cubs go, and sell the team, Jerry.